All right, guys, here we are today with one of my favorite accessory movements to really help build up your posterior chain, give you a really good carryover to your deadlift and also to your squat. We're going to do good mornings on the giant cambered bar. I'm here today with my athlete, Josh Galone. He's going to take you through this movement and show you how to do it. I'm going to walk him through it step by step, and I'm going to show you some of the cues you should think about when doing this exercise.
I think most of us would agree that getting a coach is a great step forward that an athlete can make to make greater progress. What if you had a whole bunch of coaches and a whole bunch of driven elite level athletes and like-minded people all in your corner trying to make you better? That's exactly what you're going to get with the Table Talk Discord crew.
Would I join again? Absolutely. And I will continue to be a member of the Discord group as long as it's active. I've been a big fan of Table Talk over the last couple of years. It's one of my top podcasts that I listen to. So once Dave Tate announced that there would be a Discord crew, it was a no-brainer for me to join. It's been overwhelmingly positive experience. One of the biggest benefits of being in the Discord crew, form checks. I work out in my garage by myself. I don't have people to cue me, to correct me, to coach me, anything like that. So being able to hop on the Discord, post my videos, and having elite top-level powerlifters and coaches able to give me real-time feedback that, hey man, you need to tweak this, you need to work on this, do some more accessories here, has been a huge benefit. I've seen my progression as a lifter make jumps just because of that. There's so much info on the Discord group for the members, thousands of articles, tons of ebooks, and really the best thing about it, it's like you're back in the gym, you're busting other people's balls sometimes. At the same time, you're getting really good information. It's been a blessing for me this last year, and I really recommend it.
So with this exercise, you want to put the bar relatively low bar. It's really hard to set a bar this thick up on your traps and do high bar. So Josh will just set a pretty much low bar here, and we'll get it to where he's able to create some thoracic extension in his upper back. What that's going to do is pull his chest up and keep him in a good position to do this exercise. The reason you want to put an emphasis on this is because with this movement, it's going to want to push you forward because you're just doing a good morning. The weight's all out in front of you, and you're just hinging at the hip joint, and that's it. So having that upper back stability is crucial. Also creating that intra-abdominal pressure, and if you have a belt on, bracing out against that belt. So you're not wanting to breathe through your chest, you're wanting to breathe through your abdomen, the same as you would in a regular traditional barbell squat. So go ahead and walk the weight out, Josh. Okay. So now, if you're walking the weight out, or if you're using a monolift hooks, whatever you do, you want to still maintain that brace. So he's still creating a thoracic extension, he's still keeping his chest big, he's keeping that brace. And now from here, the first movement of this exercise is hinging at the hip joint. So this is where most of the movement begins, and where it finishes is with the hip extension. So the knee joint is going to bend slightly. There's going to be a little bit of knee flexion, but that's it, just for more stability. You don't want your legs locked out straight on this. You still want to have a little bit of bend at the knee. So go ahead and hinge at the hip joint and begin the exercise, Josh. So pause right there. As you can see, this is a good position to be in. You don't want to go too low, because then you're going to be in a position to where you might end up getting hurt, slightly hyperextending at the hamstrings and putting yourself out of position to really come up strong and finish the exercise in a proper fashion. So what I'm going to have Josh do from here is to come up and complete one rep. There you go back down one more time. There you go. And as you can see here, his hamstrings and glutes are loaded. This is his posterior chain here is loaded, his lower back's loaded. There's a ton of tension on the spinal erectors. That's another thing I love about this exercise, is that it's going to bring up your spinal erectors, which is essential to have for a big squat or deadlift. And then also too, of course, he's bringing up his upper back as well, as he's keeping that tension there and the bar supporting that. So come back up real quick. There you go. So that's pretty much it for this entire movement. It's super simple and easy. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart or a little further apart. You want to create that external rotation through the floor with your feet, locking yourself in place. And what that's going to do is make sure you're keeping your hips nice and stable as well. So that's pretty much it. This is something you should do at the end of your workout. So what I would typically have an athlete do here is 2 to 3 working sets, 5 to 6 reps. But if it's beginning of a block or beginning of a wave, I'd have them do a little bit more volume, and then the weight will slightly taper up as we get towards the end of that. Now, another thing you can do too with a good morning is if you do conjugate and you do max effort work, you could substitute this in for a max effort lower. So what you could do is do max effort good mornings, work up to a top set of 3 to 5. I would not recommend a top single here just because it's not super beneficial in terms of carryover. But what you can also do, when I was at Westside Barbell, we would do 5x5s in this same bar with the weights usually jumping between 25-pound increments every time. So we do all the way up and then all the way down until we got to our working sets. So it's a lot of volume, a lot of weight. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's just an option. But yeah, I would put this in as an accessory movement and just really try to get good volume in it and progress them up linearly and keep getting stronger, because they will give you a nice carryover to your squat and deadlift.